Hi, my name is Cassidy Fletcher, and today I will be doing a presentation on why the 4-day workweek is flawed. So the article that I chose to do this on is called "The 4-Day Workweek is Flawed, Workers Still Want It." In this article, Harrington is comparing a 4-day workweek versus a 5-day workweek. She interviews a former employee of a company called Elephant Ventures, which is a digital consulting company. She said that the person she was interviewing really enjoyed the 4-day workweek but hated it at the same time. So he would go to work for those 4 days, and then once he got off on Thursdays, he would order pizza and stare at his TV screen the rest of the night because he felt so burnt out. On Fridays, he would go to the grocery store and mow his lawn. Saturdays were his fun days, and Sundays he would sit there and decompress all day and try and get all the stress removed from his body, so that way he would be ready to go on Monday. She also did an interview on 15 different employees from 6 different tech companies, and she said that some of them felt indifferent while others felt that the 4-day workweek was a godsend. And then she also did some research on past surveys that had been done, and she found one by Indeed. And whenever she was looking at the results, she found out that before the pandemic, employees who were doing 4-day work weeks, over half of them still felt burnt out. And once they got back to the office after the pandemic, 2/3 of them felt burnt out because they were doing so much more work than they had imagined whenever they were at home over the pandemic. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, what is a 4-day work week? So a 4-day work week consists of either 32 hours or 40 hours a week, depending on what your employer wants for you guys. With a 4-day work week, most websites, especially this article, says that productivity pay and benefits are not normally affected, and you either get your Fridays or Mondays off. So next I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of a 4-day work week. So the pros are, you get a 3-day weekend, which, yay, super amazing. I would love a 3-day weekend with school, but you know. And then productivity stays the same, so that's a pro, and then shorter meetings. In the article, the person that she was interviewing from Elephant Ventures said that they had to think about if they wanted to mess with their productivity and have a meeting, or if the meeting could be fit into an email. So with the 4-day work weeks, you will have shorter meetings or you won't have meetings at all, which could be a pro and a con depending on if you like meetings or not. For the cons, 10-hour work days. This is if your employer still wants to do the 40 hours per week or not, completely up to them. Another con is you're easily burnt out, and the last con is 180-100. So with 180-100, you're doing 100% of the same work. You have 80% of the time to finish this work, and you still have 100% of your pay. So one thing that this really relates to in our class is stress and organizations. So I found this diagram online, and it is a diagram talking about the general adaption syndrome, which is basically the 3 stages of stress. So the 3 stages include alarm, resistance, and exhaustion. With alarm, that is when your body is finding out that there are stressors in your body, which leads to resistance, when you're trying to figure out how you're going to cope with this stress that has just been entered into your body. And then exhaustion is what it leads to after that, and that is just your body figuring out that you cannot cope with this stress, which leads to exhaustion of you feeling extremely tired. Another thing with stress and organizations is that your schedule will start to build up, and you're going to have to figure out if you have enough time to do exactly what your boss is telling you to do. So whenever your schedule is building up and you feel more stressed, it leads to your productivity being down. If your productivity is down, then your employer and you are both right at each other. You are extremely tired because you've been doing all this work, but your employer needs you to get it done. So you're gonna butt heads and your productivity will continue to decrease. My solution for this is a flexible work arrangement. A flexible work arrangement is where a manager lets their employees pick what they would like their schedule to be. So some of the options that I have here are to give your employee the options of when they want to work. So first we have a 4-day work week, which is just the 4-day work week, either 32 or 40 hours. Then we have a 4.5-day work week, which is where you work 4 complete 8-hour, 10-hour days, probably 8-hour days. And then on your Friday or your Monday, you can choose to have a half day. With the 5-day work week, that's just a strict 5-day work week, 8 hours a day, 9 to 5, which is what most employers in the United States do. Then we have another version of the 5-day work week, which is 4 days in office and 1 day out of office. So then we have the extended work schedule. The extended work schedule is where you work for an extended amount of time and then you have the same amount of time off. So an example of this, not many big companies would do this, but maybe construction workers or labor workers would consider having their employees doing this, would be where you have 7 days of straight work and then 7 days straight off paid. And then you have your flexible work schedules, which is just where you don't have much say in what days you work, but it's your personal option of what hours you work. So an example of this is your boss tells you that you have to work 5 days, and so you work Monday through Friday. Each day you can pick what hours you work. So with that, you could say, I'm gonna come in at 11, but 11 to 1, you are strictly working, and your employer will expect you to be working from those hours. I think giving your employees the option of exactly what they want as their schedule will really benefit your company and benefit your employees whenever you ask them to do their work. And then lastly, these are my references. Thank you.